Alrighty, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We are not playing video games. We're going to be painting Warhammer 40k models. So, new hobby. I think I started a couple weeks ago. I don't know that I've had all that much time to actually partake, so you can see the spread of models I've got there on the mat. I've built some Gundam models in the past, and I like the process of model building, but I thought the painting thing would be pretty cool to get into. And Warhammer 40k has always been something on the periphery of what I know and what I've wanted to get into, but it's just so dense. There's so much lore. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a big investment to get into building the armies and playing the game. But I figured I'd just take the plunge, and I went to the Warhammer store, and the employees there were super helpful trying to get me started and figuring out what I need. I like the idea of Space Marines and how they look. So I picked up this, the starter kit, Space Marines, the Infernus Marines and Paints set. It comes with, 6 paints, a paintbrush, and 3 models. It's got the instructions on how to build push-fit models on the back, a guide for painting. You don't necessarily have to follow the rules when it comes to painting, but it gives you a color scheme. Let me put my phone on silent. Sorry. There you go. My phone on silent. All right. And it was super relaxing. I sat down, I built the models. I was at peace. I took a paintbrush, I got some water, and I painted some models. And this box was $35, so not a huge investment, and you get tons of fun for hours just detailing these tiny little models. So I'll show you my progression, and it's fun because you can see how you progress as you start painting. So I did one model every couple of days. I watched some tutorials. There's a Citadel Paint is the Warhammer Games Workshop brand of paint, and they've got a little app for your phone. It's got some tutorials, some color guides, really helpful stuff to help you learn how to paint, and if you know absolutely nothing. So that was fun. The people at the store were also extremely helpful every time I went back. So I took a couple days, painted one model every couple days, and I'll show you my progress. So let's see. This fella here was my first one, and I basically just followed the exact instructions on the back of the box. He's a little rough. I think I used too many layers of paint. I tried to be a little creative on my own without really knowing what I was doing. He came out all right, but not the absolute best. But I liked it. I tried to be as careful as I could be with the brush strokes and all that. So he was cool. Then I watched a few videos, I looked at a few pictures online, and I painted this guy. So I think I did a little bit better on the gun, tried to add some cool highlights and stuff in there. Did some detailing on his armor. Tried to do some shading, etc. Got this little jetpack thing all ringed in gold. So that was the second Marine. And then the last Marine is here. I think I did way better on some of the detail work, but there are some things I think I did better on the second model. I think I did his gun a lot better, adding some depth to the highlighting, the napalm canister, his armor, the shading, some of the highlighting, some of the metalwork. So I've got a long way to go, but it was super fun to do it. Then, recognizing the price of these models by Games Workshop were very high, I took a trip to the comic book store, and I bought a few Dungeons and Dragons models. So here is a Griffin. If I can wedge him onto the old model holder here. You can take a look at him. So here is a griffin. He's still a work in progress. I haven't finished him. But I will say the quality of the Dungeons and Dragons models are way lower than the Games Workshop ones. There's a lot of mold lines on them, and I didn't catch it right away when I primed them. I was still learning, so recognizing that the next time I buy a Dungeons and Dragons model, I'm going to clean up the mold lines. But Games Workshop, their models are super high quality. So, still working on the Griffin. He's coming along. But I got a little bit discouraged after noticing all the mold lines on him. I got to do his buttocks a little bit. Get some shading in on his fur. And then his eyes, he looks a little bit deranged with his face right now. Or he may be more than a little deranged. And that brings us to these guys here. So we finished this box. Had fun, learned a bunch. Super cool. And then I went back to the store. And I wasn't really sure what to get into, so I looked around. And these guys are basically space dwarves, the Leagues of Votan. And they're super cool looking, so I bought this box. It's got 10 miniatures in it. You can see I put a few together. I primed a few. I started painting one. So today we're going to build at least one and paint at least one. So we'll go through the build process, the gluing process, priming. I won't prime on camera. I'll just go outside and spray them real quick. Come back in. And then we'll start painting. I also picked up the Space Wolves on discount. The comic book store had a promotion going on. And I just grabbed this and got it about 25% off, so very fun. Still in the plastic. I haven't opened it yet. So eventually we're going to be painting these. So I'm still learning all the... Whoops. Work call.